All right, let's finish up. We are going to do 18 through 21 right now. So we're going to do 18 to 21. Basically what it says to solve for four different things. It says solve for x and solve for y, and also solve for angle 1 and solve for angle 2. All right, so let's draw this thing out. And hopefully it'll look something like the picture in the book. That's pretty good. And then you got another line going straight down, perpendicular. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here, but if you take it a little bit at a time, you're going to see that it's not going to be really all that hard. So that's angle 1, that's angle 2. This is 72 degrees. This is 8y minus 16. This one right here is 40. Wow, they give you all those angles, don't they? Well, kind of. I mean, they ask for a couple, but they kind of give you this one. They give you 40, they give you 72. They tell you this is a right angle down here, don't they? And they tell you this angle right here is 10x minus 24. And I think that's it. Yep. So that should be enough information to solve for x and to solve for y. Let's go a different color here. Let's see, where in the world do we start? I would start with either way. Tell you the truth, x or y would be just as easy. What do you think, Jake? What do you think, Brett? Go ahead. X? Okay. So the only x is this one right here, right? This angle right here, which is 10x minus 24. Well, what do you think? What do you think this angle is right here? It's 90 degrees, isn't it? Okay. So 10x minus 24, what? Equals 90. Good, let's do that. 10x minus 24 equals 90. That was pretty simple to see, wasn't it? Because if this is a right angle, this one right here has got to be a right angle as well. And so there we go. So 10x equals, what do you do to get rid of minus 24? Add a 24. So you come over here and add a 24, and that's 114. Divide by 10. Don't pull out a calculator on this. I yelled at my last class for this. I didn't yell at them, but I got on a little bit. Watch, if you divide by 10, what do you do with the decimal? You move it to the left, just one place, don't you? So what do you get? 11.4. Okay? So that's x. That was easy, wasn't it? Well, y is just as good, Jake. What? Yeah, go ahead.
Would be 8y minus 16 equals 72.
Absolutely. Give me a reason, though.
Because it's vertical.
Vertical angles, very good. Okay, these two angles. Look at these two angles right here. They're vertical angles, aren't they? Look, I got a line here and a line here that intersect. These lines are across from each other. They're called vertical angles, and so they are equal to each other. So we don't add them up and set them equal to something. What do? We just set them equal to each other. So let's do that. So 8y minus 16 equals 72. Now we just solve for the y. Now the algebra is the easy part out of all this, don't you think? I mean, it's a little bit of work, but I mean, I think it's the easiest part. Setting it up is the key, all right? And that's what geometry is all about, is setting up your algebra problem. So 8y equals, that cancels out. What do we get here? 88. Yep, divide both sides by 8 and you get 11. So there we go. So we got x and we got y. Now we've got to find angle 1 and angle 2. Everybody with me? Let's see. Well, am I going to go vertical angles? Probably not, because look, angle 1 is vertical, but it's vertical to this combination of 2 and 40. The problem is I don't know 2, do I? Let's do this, though. Let's change colors here. I'm going to put another big old arc right there. Let's go to this crazy purple, pink color, whatever it is. Watch, I want to give you a hint. Look at that big arc that I just drew right there. How many degrees is that arc? 180, because it's a straight line, isn't it? Okay, now tell me something. That's the kind of thing you need to look at, and you need to see what's going on. So tell me something about angle 1 and 72. How do I find angle 1? You could just do the simple math. What would you do? That's right. Just take 72 away from 180 and you got angle 1. Or if you wanted to, you could look at it like this. You could say that angle 1 plus 72 degrees equals what? 180. Everybody see that? and then you can see the subtraction right here. But a lot of you should have been able to just look at this and say, oh yeah, take 72 away from 180. You wouldn't have to write all this down. Just do the subtraction and then you're done. So angle 1 is equal to, and what's that? 108? Alright, there's angle 1 right there. So that's 108. With me? There's a couple ways to get angle 2. I'm going to do it the way we talked about it in the other class as well. Let's go with the blue. Look at this arc. Let me get rid of this. And let's make another arc. Okay, go back to the blue. Look at this. What if I did that big arc right there? How many degrees is that? 180. Tell me something about all three of these things. What are they doing? Are they all equal to each other? No, obviously not. 72 and 40 aren't equal. But what do we do to all three of those angles? They make a straight line, don't they? Say it, Jake. Go ahead. Yeah. So let's do it like this. Let's go angle 2 plus 72 plus what? 40 equals what? 112? They make that straight line right there, don't they? Why are you listening to him? He's just... Okay, but that's not the question I asked. Okay, what do all three of these add up to be? Say, David. 180. All right? I know what you're getting at, but my question was, what is this big angle right here? 180 degrees. So these three things add up to be 180. All right? Now we just do the math. 72 and 40. What is that, Jake? Okay. See, I give you your chance. Why'd I put 11? Okay. 112 equals 180. Subtract 112 from both sides. And angle 2 is, what's that? 68? Yep. 68. Right? That's a 7. Carry 1. Right? Okay. And there we go. We got angle 1, angle 2, x and y. Looked a little confusing at first, but now you kind of dissect it like that, take it apart a little bit. Really not all that bad, is it? Okay. 22, we've talked about that a bunch. I think you're fine with that. 23, the length of each side of that polygon. Well, look at it. It's a triangle, and all three sides are equal to each other, right? So what do you do with that 2y plus 11 and 3y minus 1? What do you do? Make them equal to each other. Exactly right. Just set them equal. That's easy math. Set them equal to each other, solve for y, and then you plug it back in, though, because what does it say? Find the length of each side, right? It doesn't say just solve for y. It says find the length of each side, so you just plug it back in, and you're good to go.
What are the two lines mean?
Not really. It's because they have one picture on the left, and they have one tick mark for each of those. They have a picture right next to it, and they use two. As long as... Watch, if you had a triangle, it doesn't matter how many tick marks. If they have the same number of tick marks, that means they're equal to each other. Okay?
All the sides are the same.
All the sides and the angles. Watch, this would be regular. Okay? It would be regular if all the angles and the sides are equal to each other. Okay? Blake, head up, please. D, eyes open, please. Thanks. I know, it's warm in here a little bit. I should cool it down a little bit, and it's after lunch, I get it. But you still got to stay awake. Alright. That's pretty much it for this review sheet. Alright? But don't let that be all you do for review on this test. Go through some of this stuff at home. Alright? Go through some problems you're maybe a little shaky on if you weren't sure about it. Look at some of the YouTube videos from this review. Alright? There's 4 parts. It's A, B, C, and D. You'll see it on there. Okay? It's the last thing. Go to it. So look at the review. That's going to help you out a whole bunch. Now, like I said, it's not like the test is every single problem from this review, but it's really, really close. I mean, there's a lot of problems that are really close to these. They may not be exactly the same type, but they do cover the basic principles that we've talked about here. All right? Make any sense? All right, that's it then.